it's Hayden here for Play Music Magazine, and welcome to the fourth and final video in our short 4-part series putting a spotlight on some British guitar builders. In this video we're taking a look at the Mystique Studio Plus from Vanquish Guitars. Vanquish are based down in the south of England, and as well as being a custom guitar builder making completely bespoke instruments, they also, like most of the others that we've covered recently, have their own lines of original guitars. The Mystique is the single cut model from Vanquish. Let's take a look at the specification. Taken at face value, you'd quickly think this had a very familiar recipe, being a single cut guitar with mahogany neck and a mahogany body. But then the differences start to pop out at you. For example, on first appearance, you might actually think that was a neck through if this was a sort of opaque finish, but it's an incredibly well executed heel joint here that I've not really seen before, and it's almost perfectly heel-less. It's such a smooth graduated slope into the body here. We do have a mahogany neck as mentioned. On the front of the guitar we have a rosewood fretboard with pearl inlays and 22 medium frets, which are incredibly well finished. For the body we have a carved flamed maple top, really quite deeply dished and quite beautiful. The flame itself in real life is incredibly three-dimensional and very tight and very symmetrical, obviously a very high quality piece of wood. For hardware we have 2 volume and 2 tone controls. And here the tone controls are actually push pots to activate the coil taps for the humbuckers. The humbuckers on this particular guitar are bare knuckle mules, a really well respected lower output humbucker. We also have a tune-o-matic bridge which is countersunk into the body. And the reason for doing this is it allows you to have a far less drastic sort of neck angle on the guitar, which is desirable to many. And it also keeps the strings that little bit closer to the body, just giving an overall more balanced and compact feel. Also worth mentioning are the open machine heads here. I hope you can see those on the video. Without covers, sort of vintage style, but really quite rock solid in the tuning. Okay, that's the specification of the guitar. Let's take a listen to some of the sounds. We're going to start off listening to the clean sounds that we can get out of the guitar. We're going to start with bridge humbucker, bridge and neck humbuckers, then neck humbucker, and then we're going to switch to the single coil tones following the same sequence. We're also going to use the very simple chord sequence we used in the other video, so you can really get an idea of the difference between all the guitars. And now going through the same pickup configuration, but this time activating the coil taps. And now let's listen to some overdrive sounds. We're going to go from the bridge humbucker, then do the neck humbucker, then we're going to go back and do bridge single coil, and then the neck single coil. single coil tones. You can't help feeling when you play the Mystique from Vanquish that it doesn't really play by the rules. Yes, it has a mahogany body, a mahogany neck, a carved maple top, and you associate that with huge whomping warm sounds, and the Vanquish will do that, but it's also capable of a lot more. Even without the coil tapping, you can dial in a lot of different sounds to really fusiony and wiry tones, raw and bluesy. But using that Andrew Rothwell designed coil tap system, you can dial in tones that are far more associated with guitars that are made out of things like alder or ash. Not perfect, but incredibly close. It just makes the Vanquish Mystique incredibly versatile. Other reasons it doesn't play by the rules, well, the neck carve for one. It's a big old neck. In fact, when you first kind of get to grips, you think, oh, that's a bit too big. But it's so well carved and well shaped that it's incredibly comfortable. It doesn't slow you down in any great way. Granted, if you're used to a really skinny speed neck, it might be a little off-putting. But it's actually really comforting, and you can really grab a hold when you want to dig into some bends, particularly if you do string up with some heavier strings. All in all, an absolutely awesome single cut electric guitar, and well worth the time it might take you to investigate one. One last thing about Vanquish, their guitars aren't exactly cheap. Well, you wouldn't expect them to be, but they do now offer this payment plan, which isn't like finance and doesn't have any interest, but you just pay as the guitar is built. So the guitar is built in installments as you pay in installments, making it possible for people to get hold of a guitar like this when perhaps your wallet isn't bulging in these lean times. Okay, that's pretty much all we've got time for. But in closing up these spotlight videos, I have to say that the 4 guitars we've had have been absolutely outstanding in very many ways. Now, we don't normally talk about prices in our videos, but each of the guitars in this series of spotlight videos, they sell for around £2,000 to £2,500. Now, that's not chicken feed to most of us, but it represents a similar cost to some of the higher-end output or higher-end output of some major manufacturers out there. But what you're getting here is, not as much middleman, not as much shipping costs. You're getting an instrument built for you. If you're somebody that values resale value, that might not be ideal, but it does go to show that as well as the big hitters from the sort of major guitar producers, there are other options on the market for that money. We're not going to say they're all better than the sort of mainstream guitars, because that would entirely be down to what you prefer. But we do feel too many of our guitar companies are being just overlooked. And that's a real shame, because I've had a blast doing all these videos. All right, that's it. Please visit our website at www.playmusicpickup.co.uk, where you can read more reviews, you can watch more videos, you can enter competitions and win things, and you can read our magazine for free online in our digital edition. Okay, until the next time, have fun, and please subscribe. Bye-bye.